Okay, so here's some RF measurements on the AOR DV10 showing how poor its frequency stability is. So we've got the comms analyzer tuned to 450 megahertz, we've got the DV10 tuned to 450 megahertz. The radio comms analyzer is currently outputting 0.3 microvolts of RF, which is quite low. It's modulated with a 1 kilohertz tone, as you can see there, and this is the scope showing the audio output of the receiver. So let's turn the volume up on the analyzer. You actually can't hear anything. So with the DV10 set to half kilohertz steps, I'm going to go up in frequency and see what happens. Okay, so what's that showing is that with the DV10 tuned 2.5 kilohertz higher, we can actually hear the signal and start to see the 1 kilohertz tone on the audio scope. Again, if I go back down to 450 megahertz, you can't even hear the signal. So what we're going to do now is we'll ask the generator what voltage, what RF voltage is needed to get 10 dB synad. So we'll go for synad. dB. Adjust the RF voltage to show us how much voltage needs to be applied to get 10 dB synad. It couldn't do it. It went up to nearly 14 microvolts of RF power, and it couldn't get 10 dB synad. So let's tune this up 1 kilohertz in frequency, and we'll try again. Okay, so 1 kilohertz up, it managed to measure 10 dB synad at 0.63 microvolts. So let's go up another 1 kilohertz, and we'll ask for 10 dB again. So 2 kilohertz tuned off from where it should be, and 10 dB synad was achieved with 0.3 microvolts of RF energy, which is not bad. That's not bad sensitivity. So let's go up another half a kilohertz and try again. So 0.322 microvolts gives 10 dB synad, and we'll go up 3 kilohertz. So that's fractionally worse, 0.333. So at the moment it still seems to be drifting. It's been on about half an hour or so. At the moment it seems to be about 2.5 kilohertz off frequency. Well, that is actually slightly worse. Let's go back to 3 kilohertz. Yeah, so 3 kilohertz off frequency seems to give the best reading, and it's pretty much the same as you can tune by ear. So if you turn the volume up and listen to the tone, so if you were scanning, you would never hear that signal on 450 megahertz. That's how bad this is. You actually have to tune it, start tuning it off frequency before you even start to hear the signal. So we'll send this into AOR and see what they've got to say. because they seem to think all the problems are down to the rubber aerial, which is quite mysterious, but there you go.